Everybody, Chad, Nobody Else's Auto, 7 o'clock Sunday evening, time for some Sunday Night Live chat. We've got a great crowd on YouTube already. Who is all here? Travis and Leo are on with us. Car Guy is here tonight. Ryan and Amy are here. Jim's on. Pete's on. Brian Dispatch. I think I caught most of them. Car Guy, I don't know if you've been on with us before or not. Welcome if you haven't been. Bill Disc is here. Alan from Arizona. Let's see if we are connecting on Facebook as well. As always, we are live on both formats, Facebook and YouTube, as you see me glancing back and forth at comments. So it looks like Facebook is connecting as well. So we'll see how that goes. Another Sunday evening, episode number 171. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad y'all, I'm not sure why, but y'all keep coming back. We keep having a good time on Sunday night. So Scott's here with us. Dad's on with us. Let's just get the party started with a Hudson badge right out of the gate. What do you think of that? 1 minute in, we got the Hudson badge out, ready to rock and roll. Ought to be an interesting night, right? Gary's here, ready for the badges to go. Randy's on. Jim says, hit the thumbs up. Amy says, wild in HD. Okay, I don't know how it looks in HD, so we'll take your word for it. Alex is here. Big Job's on. Kenny's on. Michael Glagola's here. And the Auburn badge. Doing well here, Travis. Glad you guys are here. It's like the Johnny show. Yeah, I'm still not think I'm at any level compared to Johnny Carson, but you guys keep calling me that, so I'm going to take it as a compliment and roll with it. Johnny Z is here. Oh, right. Amy said they got a new laptop, so it looks a lot different. I bet it does. Bill Wagaman's on. But anyway, lots of things happening. Been a busy week. Obviously, we had the live the other day. Randy's on from Pennsylvania. So, but anyway, as always, when we get started here, a little bit of housekeeping. Please double check your autocorrect before you hit send. If autocorrect has changed your comment into some sort of hieroglyphics that I can't read, comprehend, or understand, I will have to skip it and go to the next comment. So please double check those before you hit send. The Nobody Show Facebook page. If you are on the Nobody Show page on Facebook, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. You'll need to be on that page or the Nobody Show YouTube channel to comment, participate in the auctions, things like that. So if you just want to hang out and watch, you're perfectly fine over there. But please remember, I cannot see those comments. Trolls, occasionally we do get a troll on here that can't get enough attention from their mother, so they want to screw up our chat. I ignore them because that's what they're trying to do, is trying to screw me up. You guys do an outstanding job of making sure they know they're not welcome and reporting them. So as always, I appreciate that. So if we do get a troll on, I will ignore them. So please work with me on that. You guys are great about it. Super chats are awesome as well. Lots of things to talk about tonight as well. We got a full episode built, the new inventory, promo model badges, emblems, story time, auctions, and the magazine that we never even got to last week. So that being said, I suppose we ought to probably go ahead and get rolling. I think there was a cat in the box. There's a couple of them in here right now, actually. There's a gray kitty right there. Hey, Dum-Dum. Yes, you. Jeff from Canada is here with us. But anyway, what's been going on? Obviously been a lot going on. Tim from Canada is on with us on Facebook. Glad you're here, Tim. But obviously we did do the live on Tuesday the 4th. Bill suggested that last week. It was a great idea. We had a great time. Neil's here. Neil's on with us. Glad you made it, Neil. Perfect, Leo. I'll be watching for it. I got Mark's check yesterday as well, so we're all staying caught up on that stuff. I appreciate you guys sticking with me on that too and kind of keeping track of that and helping keep things flowing there with the auction stuff. But we did the live on Tuesday the 4th, went right at 2 hours, had a lot of fun, had a great crowd on. We topped out at 70 people on that day and walked around and looked at a lot of cool stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't caught it, you can go back and catch part of that from last Tuesday. But it's done really well. It's generated a lot of traffic for on the channel this week. I went out and did it, Bill, but I had spaced off the fact that we were about due to do another live because we try to do them every 2 to 3 months, and I had spaced it off. So I'm glad that you reminded me, Bill. Brian's here with us. So, but it went well, and it, like I said, it's a lot of people are watching the video. So apparently we did a good job and had a lot of fun with it. The fireworks and hearts are popping up again. I love that. Appreciate that, guys. And like I said, it generated a lot of traffic, which was kind of cool because it actually pushed me over or up to 14,000 subscribers. So I was kind of excited about that. Heading to 15,000 now. So keep my fingers crossed. I don't know, just something in my head. 15,000 subscribers has always been kind of a big deal, even though I know that's still like a speck. It's like nothing on YouTube. To me, 15,000 just kind of always been in my head that, man, if I could just get to 15,000, then I'll know I've got something done. So if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button as well. A lot of our viewers haven't even subscribed, believe it or not. We see that all the time. And it's not just me, it's YouTube in general. A lot of the people that watch videos don't subscribe to the channel. So let's see what else is going on. Sam's here with us. Yep, Alex has got his Packard coming back after the Chrysler soon. So the 14,000 subs deal to me was kind of cool. So I'm hoping for 15. That's what I'm pushing for. And then hopefully things keep moving solidly from there. But 15,000 subscribers, I'm getting close. Crested that 14,000 mark. Was definitely excited about that. Got to give you a Hudson badge. Randy liked the internationals. Dennis is here. Ken from Michigan. Thanks, Ken. Glad everything got there safely. Yeah, the international video, if you didn't catch that the other night, we'll throw that in real quick. Leo had to resubscribe. Well, I'm glad you did. Thanks. Like I said, picking those trucks up, or actually I didn't pick them up. I had a guy pick them up for me that's set up to haul that bigger stuff a little better than I am. Literally the complete one with the bed and everything, if you saw at the beginning of the video where you can see it from the highway, literally been driving past that truck. I literally don't know not driving past that truck. That was literally directly on the way out to where Dad had all of his cars. So even before I ever knew anything about messing with trucks, I was driving by that truck every week. And then those three up on the hill, you could see there, you could tell there was, in the wintertime, when all the leaves were off the trees, you could tell there was something up there. Summertime, you couldn't see them. But in the wintertime, you could tell there was something up there. X-Ray made it tonight. I have not heard anything out of Norma. 62 Chevy 2 that I have, it's got a hood on it. I don't know if it's any good or not. Doesn't seem, I think it's damaged. I'm pretty sure it's damaged, Sam. If you want to give me a shot tomorrow, I can check it and put it on a list and check it, but it's there, but I think it's damaged. But like I said, that's why I wanted to get some video of them exactly as they've been sitting for decades. And kind of document that. Now they're all in. He did pick, the guy that hauls that big stuff for me. He picked them all up. They're all at the yard. So we're going to do probably 2 more videos, 2 and 2, so we can get a good look at them. I've got 2 of them sitting in one part of the yard, 2 of them sitting in another part of the yard. We'll probably just do those in 2 separate videos in those pairs, so we can actually look the trucks over a little bit better. And the guys that have those trucks will have a little bit better idea of what is there. So sounds good, Sam. Pete said he tried to reach out to Norma, never sent her, and she never did have her contact info. If I get a sec, I'll try to touch base with her, but just haven't heard anything out of her. But I know sometimes she gets busy, and there are sometimes where she'll just drop off for a few weeks and then pop back on. So, but anyway, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the international video. If you didn't see that, check it out, because it is literally, these trucks have been sitting in that pasture at least 30 years, maybe 40 years. Long time. They've been sitting there, I'm sure, since the 80s. I bet somewhere between 30 to 40 years those trucks have been sitting there. And that's why I had to document them where they were at. Yes, can I help you? What? You going to say hi? Hey, say hi to everybody. Meow. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. If you didn't see them, be sure to check those videos out as well. Speaking of subscribing, Kelly's here with us on Facebook. Big Al's Garage, almost to 1,000 subs. If you have not subscribed to Big Al, be sure to jump on there. He's going to, he texted me the other day. He's like, all right. He's like, we got to do some content. I want to do some content. Mark's on. Glad you made it, Mark. I got your check yesterday. So stay tuned. Hopefully we're going to be doing some cool stuff with Big Al. I tried to get him to do stuff on Rocky Mountain Race Week. He kind of like, I don't know. That's why he shoved Nikki out there to do it. So, but we're going to start working on some Big Al's Garage stuff. So if you haven't subscribed to Big Al's Garage, He was at 993 when I looked this afternoon. We got to get him to 1,000. Let's get Big Al to 1,000. Big Al's garage, and you look up his profile picture, it's got a Whipple Charger on it, the blower on his Mustang, as the profile pic. So be sure to check out Big Al's garage because we're going to have some cool stuff coming with those guys, with Big Al, with Alan and Nikki as well. So, let's see. Charles is here with us. Mecum Kissimmee this weekend. Hudson Badge. Jim did not go. Jim Wicks was at the Big Mercury event in Tulsa. Big Job's got company tonight, so he'll be in and out. That's all right. You're still going to be here with us. So that's right. Rocky Mountain Race Week for the win. That's right, Neil. Since Jim wasn't there, I don't have anything, boots on the ground report from Mecum Kissimmee. We did buy something. I didn't. A buddy of mine bought a four-wheeler, so I worked on that Friday since we used my number to buy through. So there was a four-wheeler there he thought he had to have, so we've got it coming hopefully this week for a buddy of mine. So but I went through and kind of looked at some results a little bit earlier today, just kind of flipped through some pages. I think they still had a pretty decent sell-through rate, but there was quite a bit of stuff that was still bid goes on. So more than usual, which, like we keep talking about, Lee's here with us. We think the market is starting to somewhat correct a little bit and get a little bit back to reality. And with the amount of bid goes on cars I saw just by skimming the results over the last couple of days, I think that's exactly what we're seeing. That's Jim's gut feeling on things, and that's kind of what the results are starting to show as well. And like I said, with that many bid goes on cars, especially compared to the last couple of years, I mean, there was sometimes you look at page after page and there'd be one or two bid goes on cars on every page, and they were selling almost everything, if not everything, on every page as you flip through the results. And Scott said a lot of good buys from what he saw. Yeah, and I think a lot of this is correcting, and we just continue to see signs of that as we look at the results of these auctions, month after month. So no boots on the ground report from Jim for Kissimmee, but that's okay. We still, like I said, I don't know. We'll see how this four-wheeler looks when it gets here, but it's not mine, so I didn't pay for it. So I hope my buddy says it is what he expected it to be. So, but we'll know. We'll find out here in a week or two. But one thing we also need to talk about tonight that I told you we would definitely touch on that I pushed off last week for the simple fact we had so much Rocky Mountain Race Week stuff to talk about was after we left Kearney from Rocky Mountain Race Week last week, we headed straight to Minden. Minden's only 25 miles from Kearney, and it's literally right on our way. We literally drive right past Pioneer Village when we go to Kearney. So obviously, where are we going? We left Kearney, headed straight for Pioneer Village. We brought you some content from there. We brought you some stuff last fall after I got my signs that things are finally moving the right direction. We've got a new update on some of that, plus a lot of new videos. Plus, we're going to fill you in on some of the stuff they've got going on. I know some of you guys do have trips planned to Pioneer Village this summer. And so a little more information about what's happening there, what you can expect to see. And if you haven't planned your trip to Pioneer Village in Minden, Nebraska, you definitely need to do it. Now, if I could get somebody to move off of my paperwork, yes, you're in the way. You don't care. You're sitting on what I need. You need to move. Yes, move. All right, move. You're going to have to get up. Up. I'm taking this stuff anyway, whether you move or not. Oh, yeah, I disturbed you. You were in the way, dum-dum. Nope, no Gray Kitty merch yet. I think she's perturbed now. Yes, she's stomped across the room and sat over on her other chair. First off, they are planning events. They want to have events at the facility. First one is planned for September 2nd. We touched on this a little bit last week. The first annual Pioneer Village Car Show coming up September 2nd. They do want to start doing some events outside events, possibly some antique, antique swap meet type things. That's right. She's not trying to get on the keyboard. She was perturbed though. So you'll definitely, if you're in the area, you might want to go check out Pioneer Village on September 2nd and catch the car show. They're billing it the first annual. Hopefully that keeps up. But like I said, they've got a lot of plans to do some of this stuff. And part of that is coming from they have a new director, a gentleman by the name of Will. Spent some time with Will while we were there. And this is some of the stuff that they want to start doing is start having events at the facility that are tied to what they do there. So their first annual car show is coming up on September 2nd. Now, they've also got some new brochures that they're starting to hand out. Probably not ideal, but they are better. At least it's a change. There's more things happening. But, these are the ones that you see at hotels and gas stations and stuff where they have the flyers to try to get you to stop. So they have revamped this as well. Like I said, I think there's probably they could probably do a little bit better job on these. These pictures are too small and a little bit clustered for me. But regardless, things are happening. They're trying to do things differently instead of the same thing they've been doing for the last 20 years with no changes. Along with that, another new program they've got that some of you may want to consider, especially if you're anywhere near and you do plan on going back. They do want to try to start doing some rotating displays. Obviously, they've got a massive collection that is fixed, but they have some local collectors they've talked to about bringing in some, rotating displays that are there for 30 or 60 days and changing some things up, have some specialized collections they may bring in to obviously generate more traffic, because a lot of things, their collection is amazing, but it's so fixed that some people say, I've already seen it, I don't care. Auburn badge. National Road Museum, Jim, we'll get to that here in just a second. Numero uno is here. But since they're trying to generate more traffic at Pioneer Village and trying to add different content, the rotating displays, the activities with the car shows, the antique flea markets, things like that, by adding that stuff in, they have also built a membership program. The Pioneer Village membership program, where you can join for a year, you can buy a lifetime membership. All these different options are available. Obviously, they generate foot traffic to the museum. Talks a little bit about the story, and this is a separate flyer from the roadside brochures on the membership group. The $50 covered wagon is a single membership group. The $100 vintage vehicle is a annual membership for 2 people. The $200 locomotive membership package is an annual membership for up to 5. The carousel annual membership for up to 7 with $300, or a $500 Harold Wart Pioneer Club lifetime membership. All available if you're local or do plan on going back on a regular basis, something to definitely consider. So a lot of good things happening there. But what happened while I was there, I've been there enough times, obviously. I've done a lot of content there and have gotten to the point where I've gotten a pretty good working relationship with them. So what's exciting about that is the videos, I hope, are going to be getting even better. Now, when I started doing content there a few years ago, basically we just kind of walked down the aisles and pointed at a few things. Well, that's changed now. That's a little bit different. Basically now what they ended up doing, the main building where they base out of, they told me just go do what you want to do. Go just climb over the ropes, go shoot whatever you want to shoot. So that's what I do. Now, when we get back to the car buildings, they actually have, small railing with plexiglass fronts that you basically can't get to. You'd have to have a ladder to jump over them. So what they did is they took one of their high school kids and basically sent him with me, and they just said, you let him in wherever he wants, which was great because now we get to open doors. We get to look inside. We get to look at the backs. we get much, much better content. Well, I don't know if it's better content because I'm still doing it, so it may not be that great of content, but we get to see more of the cars, which is super cool. So that's, I hope you guys are going to enjoy those better. So what we did while we were there video-wise, this is all coming up soon. Pierce Arrow. We did a great video on a Pierce Arrow. I think it's like a 36. A Meteor. Yes, the car is a Meteor hearse. I think it was the late 20s. 29 Rolls Royce. P-59 jet, one of the very first jet fighter that the United States developed. The V12 Packard Coupe. We've talked about it before. We've shown it to you before. The magnificent black 36 3-window 12-cylinder Packard Coupe at Pioneer Village. Except now we get to look in it. Yep, this is walking around it. I couldn't get all the way over. Those cars are in there so tight, but we get to see the other side of it. We opened the door. We looked inside of it. We looked at the back. We looked around the back. We saw the steps for the rumble seat. So a whole new look on the 1936 Packard V12 Coupe, which some of you may have seen before. I don't know what size the V12 was. I don't remember. You know, most of the time the displacement usually wasn't that big because the pistons were like that big in them. So Rusty's here with us. So that's coming up. They had a 42 Chevy Blackout sitting next to a 42 Chevy regular. The Blackout, I don't think it's an actual Blackout. I think it's one somebody turned into a Blackout years ago. But it's mostly done right, but it still gives us a way to compare and contrast the early 42 with stainless and chrome versus what the Blackout car was a little bit later in the year. There's some things that definitely weren't right about that Blackout car. That's why I'm wondering if it was even a true Blackout. But it still gives us the comparison, the side-by-side comparison, and be able to talk about what the Blackout car was and its place in history. So, so that's coming up. Oh, another great comparison video we got to do. Now, we've talked about these two cars before as we walked by when we were just walking the aisles, checking stuff out. But the Henry J and the Allstate, they sit right beside each other. They literally have one of each. Very, very seldom do you see a Henry J and an Allstate sitting right next to each other. Well, they've got them there. And now we don't have to stand back from here over here and say, hey, there's a Henry J and an Allstate over there. We walked around them. We looked inside of them. We looked at the dashes. We looked at the backs of them. We got to check them out up close and compare and contrast the Henry J to the Allstate. That's a cool video. I'm excited about that video. A 1924 Cadillac that has been converted into a pickup that I assume was done in the Depression. That's going to be a cool video. They literally hacked the back off a 24 Cadillac and made it a pickup. So that's what they did during the Depression. That's what happened during the Depression. So that video is coming up. Another video I did is on something that has stuck with me since I was a little kid, because I remember seeing this, that David Dunbar Buick was actually in the plumbing industry, believe it or not. I don't know if any of you know that or not, but David Dunbar Buick was in the plumbing industry. Then he moved to the internal combustion engine. He didn't go straight to cars. He actually started building internal combustion engines prior to cars. There's one of those engines in existence. It's in Pioneer Village in Minden, Nebraska, right next to a stationary engine from Ransom Eli Olds as well. So there again, we've looked at them before like this over the rail. Now we get to show you all the way around them, which wasn't that exciting, but you get to see the whole engine now, back, front, side to side, and we get to check all that stuff out as well. And one more video we did while we were there that Will spent some time with. I asked Will if he wanted to do the video with us, and he did not. But what he did do is he took us around and he showed us a bunch of the improvements that have been made, things that are changing, things that are getting fixed, as well as some future plans. And he said, after he showed us, he said, go do what you want to do. He left some of the buildings open for us, so we had access. So we've got a video that's actually going to show you some more of the things that are changing and improving. And Will's pretty new there. He's only been there for 3 or 4 months, but he's got some great ideas, and things are definitely moving forward. By the time we left that day, Will actually had taken us into his office. He was, like I said, he's only been there for a few months. He's getting his feet wet, but he started finding these all these binders full of information. He's like, check this out. He's pulling these binders out. We're opening up pages in this binder that are showing some of these cars that are in the museum of when they bought them in the 50s, 60s, 70s, some things they may have fixed on them before they put them in the display. We've got all that information now, so we're hopefully going to start incorporating some of that into some of these videos. We've got the Letters from Clara book. If you guys don't remember that, when his sister Clara put this collection together, the letters they wrote back and forth about what they were finding. We've got that. Now we've got all these binders of documentation that we're going to start working with when we start sharing content with you from the Pioneer Village in Minden, Nebraska. Now there's 350 cars there, so there's no way to do them all. But we're going to hit some of the highlights, and you guys have got to be there, and you've got to go check that thing out. So Alex says the 36 V12 is 175 horsepower out of a V12. So even though it was a huge engine, it wasn't very big or very powerful. Physically huge. So lots of good things happening for Pioneer Village. Like I said, I know some of you guys have your trips planned there. If you have not, do it. Check out an Auburn badge and plan your trip to Pioneer Village. So that's kind of what I had to talk about. Obviously, new inventory we've already caught. We talked about the IHC KB6s and KB7s that came in. So we'll be getting some content on those as well, which brings us up to the promo model for tonight. And I got kind of a cute little promo. I've been kind of excited about this one. I've been wanting to do it. I finally got it out and polished it up a bit so we could check it out. And it is a unique one, and it is pretty cool. It is a Friction. And it's a unique one. It's definitely different. It is the 1961 Ford Falcon Ranchero. Check this cute little promo out. Kind of a minty green. This one's really in pretty decent shape. Bumper and grill is all intact, as well as the rear. Does have a full interior in it. And it is Friction. So a lot of you guys are digging this one. Yeah, I've been kind of excited about it. I thought it was pretty cool. This does not have all the details on the bottom like some of the Fords do, since this was a friction one. Alex says the displacement was 473 cubic inches on that V12. Holy cow. Yeah, so now you guys can see why I've been so excited about this one. I keep saying, man, I want to do that little Ranchero. I want to do that little Ranchero. Obviously, you guys are excited about it too. You know, we can see that it does have the full bed in it as well. All the original tires and hubcaps still on this little Falcon Ranchero. That's right, Bill. It is kind of minty. But it is a cute little booger. A little bit of yellowing across the back here. But definitely a cool little minty green 1961 Ford Falcon Ranchero. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought, Jim. It is kind of a different friction unit. I sell parts every day, Tyler. I sell tons of parts. I don't want to sell this promo, but I sell a ton of parts. Constantly sell parts. Facebook comments, so. But there it is, the 1961 Ford Falcon Ranchero. Leo's cousin scrapped one years ago. Rusty made his first trip to Iola. Where's nobody's shirt? Thanks, Rusty. I appreciate that. I have never made it to Iola. I believe Angelo was there with Old Cars Weekly. I believe he was there. He usually does Iola. But I have never been to that one, so. Anyway, on to some badges and emblems after the cute little Falcon Ranchero promo. As always, we'll start off with something pre-war, and then we will go to something post-war and have a little fun with those and talk about that stuff. Number one, what excellent and fortuitous timing of a Falcon. I've been researching how I can build a Mercury Comet Ranchero. Second gen side panels are interchangeable. That would be kind of different. Yep, Angelo was there. Good. I figured he would have been. But like I said, we always start with something pre-war, and this is actually kind of I'm sure it's pre-war. I don't know what year it is. But it is a unique piece, and it's kind of a Badger emblem. Not technically, but it kind of is. So I thought we'd throw it in because I figured you guys would dig it. What it actually is a part of a taillight. It's the internal or inside part of a taillight from what I believe would be a late 20s era Studebaker. Check this thing out. I got to hold something behind it so you can see what it is. How's that? Can you see it now? Studebaker, stop. So this would have been internal in a taillight. It is 4 1/4 inches in diameter. Obviously, this would have had a red lens, probably had a red lens over here. The bulb would have been here. So it would have, backlit against the red lens and these cutouts that would have spelled Studebaker stop when you hit the brake lights. So kind of a unique piece. Obviously not something that it was necessary by any means. I think this would have been inside the housing. I literally think that the housing would have been here. The lens would have been here on the front, and the bulb would have been right back in here, so that the bulk of the light would have shown through here against the lens, and then some of the light would have shown through these cutout letters against the lens. Yeah, it would make a neat bar light, that's for sure. So that's, like I said, it's not technically a badge or an emblem, but it was such a cool, unique piece that I figured you guys would appreciate it and definitely dig it. So, on to the next badge. Yeah, it would be cool to find a whole assembly. And I'm glad you guys appreciate it. I thought it would be cool. And definitely well worth checking out, even though it wasn't technically a Badger emblem. Better give you a Hudson badge. Don't want anybody getting dry. And as always, we're going to move it up a few decades to something else that's pretty interesting. Yeah, that's true. You could definitely do it with a water jet. A 3D printer would be a little bit tricky. You've got a lot of detail in these letters. It would be a little tricky to get one of those printed and be as detailed as this, but a water jet could absolutely cut one of these. But we'll jump up into the late 50s era to something that for the late 50s was very technological advanced and very new for the time. 4-wheel drive. Michael likes to do, yeah, you're right. That's the best way to put it, Michael. It's cool and different. That's exactly right. But 4-wheel drive in the late 50s was pretty new. Obviously, Marvin Harrington had been doing Ford conversions for a while. Napco, just fresh on the market, started as a conversion, and by the late 50s, they were putting them in Chevy trucks. But International also had one. And this was the badge that they used in the late 50s and the early 60s on the 4-wheel drive International pickups. These mounted on the front fenders. These are a pot metal, regular, normal badge or emblem. This one's in pretty nice shape. Obviously, you can see it's got good chrome on it. It's not busted up, which is good because these letters are fairly detailed here and fairly narrow. These badges this badge is 3 3/8 by 1 1/4 inches. So it's 3 3/8, 1 1/4 inches. It is flat. There were stud mount and just went right on the front fenders of the late 50s era International pickups. And I think they used these up into the late 60s a little bit as well. So it's kind of an interesting piece. There again, always just looking for something different to talk about, think about, and that way, and there again, that's why we have these conversations so we can all learn. Now, if you didn't know that and you just seen this at all-wheel drive, it's hard to determine that that's actually International. So So that's what we've got for tonight for badges and emblems. The Studebaker taillight insert that I believe is probably late 20s. They could have, big job, they may have even used it well into the 60s on the Scout. And then the International all-wheel drive emblem. Thanks, Jim. Said I got A. I guess that A+ is for me. But there again, that's the point of doing different stuff every week, talking about different stuff, and just trying to come up with off-the-wall, different cool things to check out. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate that. Glad you guys all enjoyed that stuff. Story time. Let's look at a car that Dad found years ago. This one I don't remember a lot about, but it has a very unique feature on it, and that's kind of what I wanted to focus on. This old Hudson is one that Dad found years ago. 48, 49 era Hudson, just a regular four-door. No, it's not a Buick. It's this big old Hudson. Hope the glare isn't too bad. You can kind of see the front of it here designating it's a 48 or 49. What was unique about this Hudson, which really made it stand out, and I hope you guys can see it. When I picked this out, I was really worried about whether you're going to be able to see it or not. Leo digs them. Mark was thinking Hudson. Is if we look in the back window, if you guys can see it, this car had a very rare accessory in it. Venetian blinds. Yes, you could get Venetian blinds for a Hudson. And that was a pretty rare accessory. I think they were original. I don't know if they were aftermarket. That's right, Kenny. What the heck? Let's just give you a Hudson while we're looking at a Hudson. It was all black. It just faded off. This is just where the black is gone. But the Venetian blinds were a pretty rare option that are pretty highly desirable on those cars. So that's why I thought, is what made it different, what made it stand out. Yeah, it'd be a heck of a storyline, but they literally, that was an accessory back in the day, were Venetian blinds for some of these old cars. So that's what we've got for story time tonight. Like I said, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of story about this particular car, but just something to keep in mind. If you see a car like this from that era, and I think Hudson had them, and I think a few other manufacturers may have had them. But if you see a car with a funky looking back window in this era, they may be Venetian blinds. I think they were available OE, but I'm not 100% sure. A lot of families were started behind those blinds. That could be a very true statement as well, Big Job. That's true. Especially if Nash had them with the fold down seats, huh? With that, we'll give you an Auburn badge. I guess we are at the point in the episode where we start digging through the goodie box and adding some of it to your guys' collection. Yes, it's auction time. Oh, you know what we haven't done yet this week? What haven't we done yet this week? Something we need to do because we didn't do it last week because we didn't do it because we had the big one last week. Toys. Number one's ready for some toys. There might be toys. I don't know. We'll see. Pete, holy cow, Pete is ready to go. Now, hold up, Pete. Just 1 second. Before we start the auctions, let's dig into the big Buick oil can. Yes, let's do some bonus drawings. We didn't do any bonus drawings last week because of the main raffle last week. But that don't mean we can't do some goodie drawings tonight. I've actually got this thing so jam-packed into the Fleet El Rico can. This thing is jam-packed. Full of all kinds of stuff. There are little toys. There's little Hot Wheels. There's matchbooks. There's a few emblems. I don't even remember what is in here because some of this stuff has been in there for weeks. I just stuffed a whole bunch more in. So let's yank something out of here. Only a few people got in this week, so Alan's here. And tonight, first bonus drawing is going to whoever this is. Mark. All right, let's yank something out of the other can for Mark. Let's see what we got. Oh, these are neat little toys. Oh, there's two of them in here. I put two of these little toys in here. These are probably 60s. These little dinky plastic cars. This one looks like a 59 Ford. Actually, they both kind of look like 59 Fords. Throwing Sparks, last brand new car my grandpa bought was a 48 Hudson. Yeah, so that probably brought back some memories. So, Mark gets a couple little extra toy cars. They have the axles and everything in them, probably early 60s, I'm guessing, on these little dinky toy cars. So, let's tuck these back into the wrapper. That's kind of what they look like, cake decorations. And we're going to write Mark's name on them. I don't know. They didn't have a maker's mark on them. And then we're going to put them over here. So when we box up the auction stuff, those go in Mark's box this week. And along with that, as always, these are strictly bonus. So you go right back in the can. So the only thing you're not eligible for tonight, Mark, is the next bonus drawing, which I want to do some more yet tonight as well. So we got Mark on the first bonus drawing. Let's get that put back. Let's slide this out of the way. And let's dig into some auction stuff. Hudson badge. As always, as we start into the auction stuff, I will hold up a piece. We will look at it. We will check it out. We will admire it. I'll show it to you. I'll point out any flaws. I'll give you some dimensions on it. We may talk about that particular vehicle a little bit as we do that. If you're interested in that piece, please throw a bid up so I know that we've got some interest in it, even though it's $5. Dean's just bidding now already. You don't even know what we're selling yet. So, as always, we'll start off with a few not quite as exciting pieces to get things rolling. Everybody does have a delay. We don't know what your delay is going to be. It varies based on your internet provider as well as whether you're on a phone, smart TV, tablet, PC, things like that. So the first couple of items, I will announce all bids as I see them, even if they are not the high bidder, just so you guys have an idea of what I am seeing. So everything tonight is smaller stuff, so shipping will be included in the 48 states. If you're a non-U.S. bidder, you are welcome to play, but you will have to get me paid, which is typically with a wire. There's a fee on wire and then pay for non-U.S. shipping. If you guys want to wait a couple weeks before you pay, I understand that as well. Then I can combine shipping and you don't have to pay every week. Just kind of let me know where things are at and let me know what you're doing so I can keep track of my notes on my notepad as we work through things. So that being said, just like Mark said, full dollar increments only. Even if you want to bid one more dollar over the high bid, that's fine. Just keep it in even dollars. I'm watching both formats with Facebook and YouTube, and if I get something that's a partial bid, it makes it very difficult to keep track as things get busy, especially when we do have some pretty cool pieces tonight as well. We'll start off with some more basic stuff and things. We got some stuff. We'll get it ramped up and get a little more interesting as we go on. Once we get done looking at something, as always, I will put it on a timer. You'll have 2 minutes. I will announce when 1 minute is gone. I will announce when 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Once I announce 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed, depending on your delay, we may about be done. So be thinking about your maximum bid when I announce that 30-second point has been, or minute 30 seconds has passed. So please bear that in mind as well. If you've got any questions, you can always give me a call tomorrow. My number is in the description part of this video. So you can always give me a shout tomorrow if you're not sure what's going on. If you're a new guy and you want to play along and you want to bid, that's fine. Just give me a call tomorrow. We'll work it out. Check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family is what I accept for payment. So build a package for 75 plus, and then surprise announce the auction. The first bidder wins a super pack. Alec is here with us on Facebook. Build a package where we'll have to see what we can do with that. So, all right, guys, well, let's go ahead and hit refresh. Make sure you're up to speed. You're not lagging any more than what the system is forcing you to lag. And we will start off with some, actually, I got a couple things I want to show you guys, see if you're even interested in them. To start off with, like I said, the first couple things we do will not be, real high dollar, $50 or $100 pieces. We'll start off with some more basic stuff and kind of get some things rolling and see what you guys think to start off with tonight. So first off, tell me if you're interested in these or not. The inserts are gone, so I don't know if you guys will like them or not, but it's a pair of Cadillac badges, but the plastic inserts are gone. One of these is like 54, 55. The other one is like 56 on these Cadillac badges, but there's no inserts in them. So I don't know if you guys like these or not. They're kind of cool. I don't know what I would do with them, so I thought I'd throw them at you guys, see what you thought. You can always get a used insert and put in them, and then then they would be pretty cool. This one is 3 3/4 by 2.5. So 3 3/4, 2.5. This one, which is like a 56, is 8 by 2 5/8. So no idea if you guys think these are cool or not. They're kind of neat, but like I said, if you can find some plastic inserts, even if they're rough, they would be great pieces. So just thought I'd throw them at you, see what you thought before we got rolling tonight. But I don't see any bids popping up on them, so you guys must not know what to do with them either. So we'll give it a few more seconds and see if there's anybody that's interested in these. Yeah, they're definitely looking for a logo to be put in them. There's no doubt about it. Kenny's going to throw $10 on them. So what the heck, let's roll with it. We'll just go off of Kenny's 10 and see if anybody else is interested in them or not. We'll throw them on the timer. We'll go ahead and go through the spiel. Kenny likes them for at least 10, so we'll go with that. You up here to bid or what? You going to play along? Travis, 11. You bidding? Are you bidding? You want to bid? What? What, dummy? Dean at 12. X-Ray Dean at 12. What? Hey. Yeah, she's a talker. She's a pain in the butt. Yes, you're a pain in the butt. X-Ray Dean at 12. Can I help you? 1 minute has passed. 1 minute has now passed on the caddy badges. X-Ray at 12. Gray Kitty for 10. You keep this up, you might sell you for 5. X-Ray at 12. And there's the minute 30 mark. Hey, no, you're going to knock that stuff off. Meow. X-Ray at 12 as we get down to the wire on this one. Yeah, you Joe keyboard to tap dance on. Few seconds left. X-Ray Dean at 12. Move, dummy. And that does it. X-Ray at 12. Do you mind, Cat? All right. I'm glad Dean's got some ideas for those. Cat. All right, let's do a license plate, kind of a starter plate. There again, starting off with a few cheaper pieces. Everybody kind of gets a feel for what's going on. This is a plate from the 80s, and I really don't think we've done them before. I kind of keep ignoring them. Yeah, I do too, Dean. I hope you can complete your idea because, like I said, I don't know what to do with them. But I obviously don't want to throw them away. So if you got some ideas for them, great. But we haven't done one of these plates because I kept thinking they were too new, and then I realized they're 40 years old. So yeah, they are, and they're actual metal plates. This is a mid-'80s era Kansas plate. They went white with blue letters. That's right, Neil. Arguing with Cat is a lost cause, especially you. So check out this license plate. Dickinson County, 8949. This is mid-'80s. Like I said, I kind of just ignored these for a while until I realized that these are actually 40 years old and good for antique cars now. So this is a standard size, roughly 12 by 6 plate. They went to this white background with the blue letters, and then the sunflower burst up here in the corner. The backs of these are blue. Travis is starting us off at 10, Leo at 10. So not a super old plate, but still a cool plate, and I like the sunburst, sunflower burst up in the corner with the wheat on it as well. Mark at 15. Let's get this thing on the timer. Pretty good condition. It is used. It does have some scuffs and scratches, but it isn't bad. Like I said, it just kind of had to sink in that, well, I mean, it's got the sticker on it right there. You can see where it's 83. So it is 40 years old. And an actual stamped and embossed plate. Anymore, a lot of these plates aren't even stamped and embossed anymore. They started printing them. Travis at 20. And there's the 1 minute mark. A lot of the stuff that comes in do have license plates on them, yeah. But a lot of these that have been inside have a lot better color. The ones that have still been on cars for decades are faded usually. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Scott's here with us on Facebook. Travis at 20. Coming down to the wire on this one, a few seconds left. I've got Travis at 20. Michael at 22. And that does it. Michael Glagola on Facebook at 22. Slid that one in at about 156. That was a good shot on Michael's part. And then Travis at 24, Leo at 25. But don't worry, guys. We got some awesome license plates coming up tonight. We've got a really cool mix and some cool stuff coming up. So stay tuned for that. How about a badge bundle? Something a little bit different. We do a lot of Chevy and Ford badges. I'm trying to mix that up a little bit. Which is kind of what we're doing here. For something for a little bit different for our Oldsmobile fans. Starting off with a Cutlass script. Probably late 60s on this one. Does have some pitting. It is a pot metal badge. It is flat, stud mount, decent chrome, but it does have some pitting on it. As well as an S that I believe went with this Cutlass as well. So the Cutlass, the Cutlass is 6 inches long. The S is about 4 tip to tip. Leo at 10. Going along with this is this cool little Oldsmobile rocket. I love these things. This one is plastic, but it's a cute little size on the Oldsmobile rocket. It is 3 1/4 from tip to tip on this rocket. This is chrome-plated plastic. It was just double-sided tape is what held it on, but I always thought these were a great piece with the Oldsmobile rocket on it. So all 3 Oldsmobile badges going together. I got Leo at 10 starting us off. Let's get this thing on the timer on the Oldsmobile badge bundle. Leo at 10. Leo must be our only Oldsmobile fan tonight. One minute has passed. Nope, no matchbooks. No matchbooks tonight, Mark. I need to get some more of those rounded up, actually. Minute 30's passed. Leo's our only Oldsmobile fan tonight. Nope, Dean's in there at 12. Kevin L. made it. Glad you're on, Kevin. I think this is late 70s, early 80s. These, I think, are late 60s. Dean at 12. And that does it. X-Ray Dean at 12 on the Oldsmobile badges. Leo's back at 13, just a little bit too late. All right, let me get these put back together here and taped back up. I don't want something to fall apart on these bundles and lose something. That's even cheap for number one, even with the exchange rate. All right, we did one of these a while back. I've got a couple of these. I didn't grab a ton of them, but I grabbed 3 or 4 of them. So we're going to do another one of these tonight. These are cool. They're not that exciting, but they're a great little ornament. They're a great little pencil holder. I actually like them for pencil holders. I've got one right there as a pencil holder. But remember when I went to Auburn Court Duesenberg and we got some more content and hung out with Doug Prey and Adam Prey, checked out what they had going on. I grabbed a few of these off the shelf that I bought from Doug that I'm going to share with you. The 12-cylinder Auburn Pistons. I think Pete got one. I think these are new. These are the smaller pistons. So that means that's what Doug thought. These were probably some of the 12 cylinders. I got 4 or 5 of them. They are all slightly different, I think. I mean, just very slightly. Some's a little taller, one's a little shorter, things like that. But they're all similar. But like I said, I love doing this with them. And literally, I have one right there on my desk right now, full. Kenny at 12. Pete loves his. Mark at 18. This one is 3.5 by 2 7/8. Randy at 20, 3.5, 2 7/8 on the dimensions on this piston, believed to be 12 cylinder for an Auburn. So let's get this thing on the timer and get it rolling. Like I said, I've got a few more of these to do. They're all slightly different. Alex at 30. Just cool to say you got one. So Kenny at 32. Travis at 35. Boom, boom, boom. It's like working. It's functioning. Alex at 40. Travis at 43. 1 minute has passed. Minute 30 is gone. Any 350 pistons? I don't know if I've got any that are specifically 350 or not. These are 12-cylinder Auburn. Those are the size we used to throw at hockey referees. Okay. Sounds interesting, number one. I wouldn't want to be a hockey referee in your area. No, it is not marked. We just pulled these off the shelf, directly off the shelf at Auburn Court Duesenberg. I've got Travis at 43. We're down to the wire. Few seconds left. Is Travis going to get it at 43? And yes, he does. Travis at 43. Yep, we got a box of Addy caps. Mark came back at 45. It was a little bit too late. But yeah, we've got some Addy caps we're going to mix in here in just a second. We've got some great license plates coming up tonight. Some other cool caps. So yeah, we got a lot of fun planned. The next piece we're going to check out, I think we did one of these a while back. Like I said, I've got several boxes of these grease caps. So some of these we're going to get mixed in and have some extras on. We'll just see how it goes. But I think this is one similar to what we did. And some of these are slightly different as well. This one I believe is Studebaker. These are the old 20s era grease caps. These are aluminum grease caps that literally threaded right onto the end of the axles. You can see the threads right inside of this thing. This one is about 2 1/4 tall in depth. You can see where these get banged up on the sides, where they had to take them on and take them off and put them on. Leo at 20 on the, I believe, the Studebaker grease cap. See how it is kind of stepped in here. Randy at 20. I had Leo first at 20. Let's get this thing going on the timer. Alex at 30. Mike's here. The hotel in Minden at Pioneer Village is actually closed for refurbishing, Kevin. Leo at 31. So I think there's a little town. You've got to stay in Kearney, which is about 20 miles north, or another little town about 20 miles south. There is a ton of stuff to do in Kearney. There is a car museum in Kearney that they're getting ready to auction off. I don't know if it is still open yet or not, but there is quite a bit of stuff to do in Kearney. So either have to stay in Kearney or a little town just south of Minden, since the hotel at Minden is currently being refurbished. Leo at 31 as we hit the 1 minute mark. Well, I hope you enjoy it, Kevin. I hope I haven't hyped it up too much and you're disappointed when you get there. Minute 30's passed. Nobody have ever sent there has come back and said they were disappointed, but you never know. Leo at 31, and it got all quiet, and we're coming down to the wire on this one. Randy at 35. Just about done. Couple seconds left. And that does it. Randy at 35. And then Leo at 36. That's right, Alex. If you love old planes and cars, you're going to love it. That's for sure. There's no doubt about that. Up next, the first cap tonight, the first Addy cap tonight. Cool little dog dish Plymouth. Early to mid 70s. This is actually we see some of these with the ridges around the outside edge, but they're typically blank. This actually has Plymouth Division stamped right in it. So this is kind of a unique cap. It is stainless. Jess is on with us on Facebook. 9 inches in diameter on the Plymouth cap. This is all stamped in it. We can see on the back where we can see all the ridges stamped in it. We can see where the Plymouth is stamped in it. Travis at 15. Really in pretty decent shape. It's got a few little dingies in it, but overall, it's a pretty decent cap. You can really see the shine on this thing. This is peaked in the center, so that's why you're getting that starburst pattern, because this is peaked in the middle. You're getting that starburst pattern off of that stainless. So Travis at 15, as we get rolling, put this thing on the timer. Yep, it does kind of look like a cop car cap. That's exactly what they look like. Randy at 20. Mark at 22. One minute has now passed. Randy at 25. Coming down to the wire on this one. We're past the minute 30 mark. We're ready to wrap this up. Randy at 25. Anybody else going to jump in at the end? Almost done with this one. Randy at 25. And that does it. Randy at 25. His beer money is getting depleted. Well, you're getting cool stuff. There's Mark at 26, about 3 seconds too late. Let's do something a little bit different. Something we haven't done. That's right. The delay got Mark on that one. Something we haven't done in the past. We do a lot of them all the time, but we've never sold any of them really. We all love them. And I've got some extras. So I thought, what the heck? Let's do some mini mags. Yes, 3 of them. A batch of 3 mini mags. Rotting and Restyling from August of 1962. Speed and Custom from October of 62. And Customs Illustrated from September of 62. No, they're not Dirty Magazines, number one. These are the little mini mags that we look at sometimes. In fact, we're going to do one tonight because we didn't get to it last week. These are all in pretty good shape. Nice color on the covers. Randy at 12. All three of them, one-shot deal. They all appear to be complete as you flip through them. You know, I don't see any big missing chunks out of them. There is cool stuff in all of them. Obviously, we could get through into all of them just like we always do. Leo at 20. We need to get this thing on the timer as we show you a few of the highlights in them. So tons of cool stuff in these. Leo at 20. We are on the timer. We're rolling along. Leo at 20. Johnny Z at 25. Leo at 26. And there's the 1 minute mark. Leo at 26. Mark at 27. And there's the minute 30 mark. Mark at 27. Leo at 35. Coming out of the wire, a few seconds left on this one. Leo at 35. Mark's out. And that does it. Leo at 35. Leo tried to cover himself, but he actually, we hit the 2 minute mark before he threw his extra bit out there to cover himself. So he's still at 35. If that had come in before 2 minutes, he would have bumped himself, but he's just trying to cover himself. So Randy's Man Cave's too damn for paper products. So Leo at 35. I told you guys we had some cool stuff coming up tonight. Here's one of them. This has been repainted kind of poorly, but it actually kind of almost adds to it. I told you we had some good license plates coming up, and this is one of them. Even though it was originally black and they kind of red washed over it, it gave it a really cool look on this 100-plus-year-old license plate. So, and of course, if Norma's not on, you guys may have a shot at it. Kenny don't care. He's already at 5. What's next? 7781 Camaro hood scoop? Nope, don't have any of those in the pile. Those are pretty big. Those would be a little tough. But this 1920 Kansas plate, as you can see on the back side of it, there was a black plate. Well, somebody put this red finish over the top of it, which has kind of worn back off. Travis at 10. So really gave it a kind of a unique look on this 1920. Yes, a 103-year-old license plate. Now, we can see there is a little damage to some of these holes. Some of these holes have been added. But at 103, Alex at 30, it is still pretty flat. It does lay pretty well. We see all the back of it is original. And it is a little bigger than a normal plate. It is 14 3/4 in length by 5 3/4 across. Travis at 40. Let's get this thing on the timer and get Boogie in. So this is a cool looking plate. Like I said, even though it's not original finish, this faded out red almost gives it a completely different look. So I've got Travis at 40, Alex at 45. Travis at 55. Lots of hearts and fireworks. Appreciate that, guys. Travis at 55 on the 1920 Kansas license plate. As 1 minute passed. Just past the 1 minute mark, Travis at 55. And there's the minute 30 mark. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Time to be thinking about your max bids. A lot of places had leather plates back in the early 1900s. By the teens, a lot of them were starting to do metal plates, but they were leather up until the 1910, 1912 in a lot of places. Alex at 57. Travis at 65. Comes right back at him. We got a few seconds left. Leo at 61. I've got Travis at 65. And that does it. Travis at 65. And that is a cool piece. Up next, let's do another badge bundle for our Ford fans. Couple of cool pieces for our Ford fans from the 50s. Starting off with a V8. I believe these were on the front fenders. This is pop metal. Grab the tape measure here. Nice chrome on this one. Stud mount. It is pretty flat. 2 3/4 by about 2 1/4, so about 2 3/4. This would have been Y block, mid-50s Y block on the V8. The next badge, this is 53, 54 era, like a front hood badge. Now, but I don't have any of the plain badges from a shoebox interior. This does have a plastic insert. It does come out, so you're going to have to glue that back in. It is a plastic insert with a pop metal frame. It is stud mount. It is V'd to go like on the front of a hood. Leo at 10. And it's about 3 5/8 by about 3 3/8. So it's about a little over 3.5 tall, a little over 3 wide on this Ford badge. Where's the first year plate on my big board? 1913. 1913 was the first year for a state-issued Kansas license plate. Yep, it is shaped like an engine block. Good point, number one. And the last one, this is really cool. This is like 55 or 56. I've always been a fan of this badge. This is a cool one with like the crown across the top, plastic insert, pop metal housing, stud mount, chrome plated on this Ford with the crown type look on it. It's about 3 inches by about 2.5. So it's roughly 3 by 2.5. So you're getting all 3 of them on this big Ford badge bundle, all from the 50s era. Jess at 15, Alan at 15. I had Jess first on Facebook at 15. Let's get this thing on the timer. Jess at 15 is my high bidder. She popped up just ahead of Alan. Kevin at 20. Mark at 17, but I got Kevin at 20. All three of them, one bid. Mark at 25. Jess at 25. I had Mark first. Can't even hold all these tricky little suckers are about ready to drop out. I don't want to break any of them. Leo at 27. These little suckers are hard to hold on to. But I want you guys to see what we're talking about. So, Jess at 30. There you go. Can you kind of see him there? There we go. Jess at 30. And there's 1 minute. Mark at 33. Jess at 35. As we hit the minute 30 mark, I've got Jess at 35 as we hit the minute 30 seconds. So we're coming down to the end of this one. Jess at 35. Mark at 37. Mark at 37. We got a few seconds left. I got to keep an eye on both formats here. Mark at 37 coming down to the wire. Jess at 38. And that does it. Jess at 38. That one got pretty interesting. I had Jess at 38 at about 1:57. Not much time for Mark to respond. So we'll tape these back up for Jess. And she just will stick around. So because we got something else that Jess may like. She may have this one. I'm not sure. It's a little bit different than some we've done in the past. We're going to do another Addy cap. And we've done some Nash caps in the past. But this one's a little bit different. So I don't know if Jess has this one or not. It's pretty bright. It's got some wear and some dings to it. But it's a little bit different. A lot of the Nash caps we've done in the past have had a big, wide block. This has kind of a narrow, kind of funky little Nash script on it. If you can see it, holy cow, it's kind of bright. It looks like a mirror. So a lot of those ones, it's been a bigger, broader Nash. This is a very fine line Nash script on this particular cap. It is obviously chrome-plated steel. Leo at 20 over a metal base. Jess apparently doesn't have this one. Alex at 35. Jess at 45. Just to tick under 10. 9 7/8 on the little Nash cap. Let's get it on the timer. I've got Jess at 45. Leo at 47. So like I said, it's a little bit different than some of the other Nash caps we've had. I don't know if you guys have seen them before or not, but it's probably a little bit earlier than some of those other ones that we've done. But it's still a cool piece. Typical dings and dents, but there again, if you Jess at 55, you can leave it the way it is, or you'll repaint the Nash, and if typically they were red, make that thing pop. Yeah, I've done a few of them that way, and a lot of times you guys like to leave them that way. It's your choice, so I didn't paint this one. But we've got Jess at 55. 1 minute has passed. Jess at 55. Minute 30. We've hit the minute 30 mark. Coming down to the wire. See if she may have blown everybody out. We'll see. And that did it. She blew everybody out of the water. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes throwing your number out there, you can scare everybody else off. So that worked. So congrats to Jess on that one. You got purple starry eyes. How do you get purple starry eyes? That's weird. We got another great piece coming up that I really dig, and I know you guys are going to really dig. And this thing looks good. This thing is super cool. I know you guys are going to appreciate it. So be ready for it. Get your hands high in the air, because this is a grab. I'm going to give you a Hudson badge and an Auburn badge, because you got to think about this one, because this thing is super cool. It looks really great. We all love these early badges, and we've got another one coming up, and I know you guys are going to love it. 10, Travis at 15. All we've heard is an enamel badge. Nobody cares. So, well, it doesn't really matter, because it's worth way more than $15. So you're going to be plenty good at that. It's a super cool piece. I think this is around 1927, 1928. Kenny at 20. It has a little bit of chipping in it, but not bad at all. It is a smaller one, though, so we do want to take that into consideration, because the diameter on this one's only about 1 5/8 inches. Alan at 25. Travis at 30. But it is a great piece. Like I said, minimal chipping on this awesome, I think it's 1927, 1928 Studebaker. Check that thing out. Oh, yeah. So all these pre-bids are all excited about it. It was well worth it, as you can tell. Whammied a little bit on the U right here. Kenny at 35. Mark at 60. It was a button on the back where it was pressed on. This one is still pretty flat. It's got a little bit of bow to it, but very minimal. We can see the spokes in the wheel. And like I said, this is a little bit smaller of one. Jess at 65, 1 5/8 inches. So it is a little bit smaller on this one. Jess at 65 is our high bidder. We've got this thing on the timer. Travis at 66 on the super cool little Studebaker badge. So we are on the timer. This thing is awesome. You can see it was the press type button. Mark at 70. Travis at 75. Jess at 70. I've got Travis at 75. And Jess at 75. Jess at 80. Mark at 85. It's a great piece. It really is. I mean, there's just very little damage to this thing. 1 minute has passed. Travis at 90. Mark at 100. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Market 100 is our high bidder. Dean's peeking through there. Little bit of time left, but it's getting short. Market 100. We got a few seconds left, but we're coming down to the wire. Market 100. And that does it. Market 100. That's a great piece. It really is. You just don't see them that good. Most of the ones, fortunately, I had a duplicate of that because normally I wouldn't get rid of one that good for as hard as they are to find. Pretty much took Mark out tonight, but not a bad choice, Mark. Not a bad choice at all. All right, let's back to some plates. I told you guys last week I bought a couple boxes of these new Nebraska plates. I don't know anything about them, but they are actual metal. They are stamped. They've got some age to them, but they're all brand new. And this is another match set. I don't know if you can get away with it or not, but they say tax exempt. So, hey, maybe that'll work. I don't know. It's a brand new set. 6193. They are a matched pair. Travis at 24. They're still sealed in the bag. I will leave them sealed in the bag, but I want you to be able to see there is 2 of them in here. So I will ship them just like this, brand new. I think that, they are stamped metal. So they are embossed. They're not printed. So I think they've got some age to them, whether it's 10 or 20 years or 30 or 40 years, I don't know. But they are brand new. They are a match set on the Nebraska tax exempt. I've got Travis at 24 on the pair. We had dealer plates last week. These are, I don't know what these were tax exempt. I don't know if these were supposed to be a government plate or what. I don't know, Mark. If all you can do is watch now, here, how about this? I'll show you this one more time, and then you won't feel so bad about it because that's a great piece. Hey, Dean at 25. That's right, Mark. You won't be disappointed with that one. It's not there's nothing to feel bad about if you're out for the rest of the night. One minute has passed. Dean at 25 on the pair. There are 2 in here. Match set. Travis at 36. Minute 30 has passed. Travis at 36. Coming down the wire, Travis at 36 on the pair of Nebraskas. Yes, they are both the same number. It is a match set. And that does it. Travis at 36. That's my air conditioner, actually. It was getting pretty stuffy in here. Lee at 40, just a little bit too late, but I had Travis at 36. Lee must have a heck of a delay hanging in there. Leo at 43. Next piece we're going to do is pretty rough. I ain't going to tell you it's not rough because it is rough. But it's rare. And it's cool. And the story would be astronomical. Another piece I got from our good friend Doug Prey. And it is banged up. It's had a hard life. And it is just the skin off of a hubcap for an 8-cylinder Auburn. So check this thing out. Like I said, it is a little rough. This is just the skin. They took this off of the base metal cap. The Auburn 8 is stamped in this. If you guys can tell, you can see on the back how it is embossed. It is, but it is rough. It's banged up. Travis at 12, but there again, how often do you get a chance to hang an Auburn cap on your wall? There ain't gonna be nobody else in your neighborhood that's got an Auburn cap on their wall. So even though it's banged up, even though it's rough, you probably ain't gonna hang it there. You know, your buddy's gonna have one. It is just over 7 inches in diameter. Alex at 30, we've got this thing on the timer, just over 7 inches in diameter. It is slightly domed. You can see it is bent up a little bit. Travis at 35, but there again, there ain't gonna be nobody else got one hanging on their wall. Looks good with beer goggles. There you go, Randy. Stay positive. There you go. That depends on how you look at it. Travis at 35. Alex at 40. Just past the 1 minute mark. That's right. Beer goggles, how those did scotch. That's another good point, number one. As we hit the minute 30 mark, 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Coming down to the wire, Alex at 40. Anybody else going to jump in here right at the end? Few seconds left to go. Alex at 40. And that does it. Alex at 40. All right. We're having fun tonight, guys. A lot of cool stuff, and I'm glad you guys appreciate it. I always work hard to get a good mix in this stuff, so. Yeah, it sounds crazy. Sometimes the car's like Kleenex. When you need it, it's fine. When you're done with it, it's trash. Up next, another little grease cap. I love these grease caps. We're going to give you a Hudson badge to think about it. Appreciate that, Leo. You guys are enjoying it too. This is a cool one. Banged up a little bit like all these old 20s aluminum grease caps are, but you can still make out the name, which is what's important on this Overland. Yes, check this thing out. Overland. Definitely an odd brand, a little bit different. Outcast is on with us. Glad you're here, Outcast. 3 inches across on this Overland. We can see the threads in this one. These were all threaded on just like all the rest of these. No, Travis, I did not get any cans ready tonight. Cans I did not get. 1.5 inches deep on the Overland cap. Jess at 15, starting us off on the Overland cap. Let's get it on the timer. I've got Jess at 15 on the Overland. Alex at 25. Jess at 28. As we hit the 1 minute mark, I've got Jess at 28 on the Overland cap. I think they usually have to chisel to knock them off. I think that's why that got in there. They had to take a chisel to knock it off, knock it loose. And there's the minute 30 mark. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Jess at 28. Alex at 30. And that does it. Alex at 30. Alex is having a little better luck now. First couple of things didn't work out too well. But he's still in there swinging. Up next, another Addy cat. For our Ford fans. Really great piece for our Ford fans from the late 40s. I think this is 46, 47, 48, somewhere in that window. On this Ford cap. The paint does appear to be original in the blue. I think this is 46, 7, 8 in that era. It does kind of have a step on the side of it. It is stainless. You can see where this is all stamped in the back of it. Travis at 20. Leo at 20. I had Travis first. We give you a dimension on this thing, and then we're going to get it on the timer. It is about 9.5. About 9.5. Alan at 25. Travis at 36. Jess has to get ready for work tomorrow. Glad you were here, Jess. Appreciate you coming by. That's right. The game might be over. Travis may have blown everybody out of the water. Well, glad Jess made it on for a while tonight. Just past that minute mark, coming up on the minute 30. Like I said, it might be game over. Travis may have knocked everybody out on this one with his $36 bid as we come up on the minute and a half mark. And there's the minute 30, but Alex is in there. Alan is in at 40. I've got Alan at 40. Leo at 41. Alan at 42. And that does it. Alan at 42 at about a 159 shot. Alan at 42. So congrats to Alan. Is that your first win, Alan? I don't remember seeing you buy a lot of stuff before. So if that's your first win, congratulations on that. All right, sweet. Congratulations. You'll think you're going to dig it. It's a pretty nice piece. And that was a good shot because it came in right under the wire. Up next, let's do another plate. And this is a pretty cool one, 3-digit from 1961. One that we don't do a lot of these. I don't know why we just haven't come across a lot of 61 plates or what, but it's a truck plate with a low number 475, and it's got the farm sticker on it, which I know a lot of you guys dig. Check this one out. Tony started us off at 10. Has a little bit of paint loss down here. Does have the farm sticker on it. Travis at 12. Standard size, basically the roughly 12 by 6. The truck is embossed in it. Truck is stamped in it. The farm part is just a sticker. Travis at 20. And this is paint loss down on this edge. It is still fairly flat. This was a bright white with brown letters in 61. Dean at 20. Dean at 24. Let's get it on the timer with X-Ray Dean at 24 as the high bidder. Not for long, though, because Leo's back at 25, and Tony at 25, and Travis at 25. That's right, Ed Truck. That's what it is. It's Ed's Truck. Actually, this does stand for Edwards County. Travis at 26. Leo at 30. X-Ray at 31. Leo at 35. One minute has now passed. And coming up on that minute 30 mark. And there it is. Minute 30's passed. Leo at 35. So we got pretty heated there for a little bit, but maybe Leo's got everybody shoved out. We're going to know here in a few seconds because we're coming out of the wire on this one, about ready to wrap it up. I've got Leo at 35. And he did it. Leo at 35. Now, as I've been working through this stuff tonight, there's Dean at 36, just a little bit too late. Just a few seconds too late. And I realized as I've been digging through this, I know we didn't have any cans, but I forgot to grab any of the toys that I had. I do have a few toys tonight, so let's get a toy squeezed in here yet. And it's a great one, especially if you're an international fan. This is late 50s, early 60s, Japanese tin. Victoria, Texas is here. But check out this little international. We looked at this several weeks ago on a Toy Tuesday. I decided to go ahead and cut it loose on the Fields Nursery International A100. Check this thing out. It's a Japanese tin. The dash and all this stuff, if I can get the angle right, that is all just painted in here. This is all just painted. None of this, it's just a flat piece of tin where it's all painted. Still has the nose and everything in it. It's kind of wonky. Has the rear bumper on it. Bottom of it is just a basic flat piece of tin. It is missing 3 of the 4 hubcaps. It still has 1. Yeah, it'd be a little tough to fit inside of this one, especially considering that's just a flat piece of tin in there with stuff that's painted on it. Does have a little bit of damage right here where that doesn't fit quite right, but these never did fit exactly right to begin with. I just had to shove it back in. Now it fits right. So, Kind of a cool piece on the little Fields Nursery International A100 tin truck. Dimensions. 6 3/8 by about 2 2 3/4. So 2 3/4, too tall, and 6 3/8 long. So anyway, no bids on this. Or Travis, was that 20 on this, Travis? Dean at 20. I don't know if Travis's 20 was a bid. Michael at 15. Let's get this thing going. I don't know if Travis or Dean, if Travis's bid was a $20 bid or not. Okay, it was. So I had Travis at 20 first. So Travis at 20. He was before Dean on the little truck. So we are on the timer. Cool little Japanese tin. Like I said, probably early 60s. Really great shape. Dean, 24. That answers it. That answers the question for sure. So Dean at 24. The bed is all painted. It actually does have ribs in the bed. Does have the A100 and the International on the sides. Leo at 28. Fields Nursery on both doors. Almost looks like a cameo with this insert on the side of the bed. 1 minute has passed. We have passed the 1 minute mark on the little International truck. Leo at 28. Super cool little piece. One that I definitely kind of debated about whether to throw in here or not, but Addie and I talked about it, and she said you guys would probably dig it as much as we do, so go ahead and let this one go. Leo at 28. And there's the minute 30 mark. Leo at 28. Great little toy for 28 bucks, that's for sure. Leo at 28. Coming out of the wire, we got a little bit of time left, but not much. Dean at 30. Travis at 35. And that does it. Travis at 35. So, great little piece. That's a cool truck. Everybody's got to be getting a little thirsty. How about a badge bundle? Let's do some Chevrolet stuff. This is going to be kind of a different Chevrolet badge bundle. We're going to start off with, we throw a lot of these bow ties in here, the plastic bow ties, just because you can stick them anywhere. And they're flat. You put double-sided tape on them. You stick them on your toolbox. You can stick them on your bar. You can put it anywhere. Travis had his name on it. Yeah, it's a great piece. It really is. A little over 4 inches on this particular plastic bow tie. With the plastic bow tie set of the rally flags from the early to mid-60s. These are metal, pop metal, stud mount, chrome plated. This is original paint with the red and the red, white, and blue, and then the black and white and the flags on this particular set of rally flags. And these are about 3 5/8 tip to tip on the wings, on the flags. Travis at 10. Now, to make this badge bundle a little bit different, we're throwing in some dealer badges, but they're specific Chevy dealer badges. From Dobby Chevrolet in Rossholt, Wisconsin, with a bow tie. So this is a metal dealer badge, and these have become pretty collectible. Stud mount with the bow tie on it. Leo at 20. As well as one from the Parrish Chevrolet dealer in Liberty, Missouri, also with the bow tie on it. This is also a metal dealer badge with the bow tie on it. So, all 4 Chevrolet badges going together, a one-shot deal. Michael at 18, but I've got Leo at 20 right now on YouTube. So, let's get this thing on the timer. We are live on the timer as of right now. Michael at 22. Kenny at 22. Tony at 22. I had Michael on Facebook first. Leo at 25. Need to get a couple extra fingers when I do these badge bundles. Yeah, the dealer plates are kind of cool, especially when they're specific. It doesn't just have a name on it. They specifically have bow ties on them. Leo at 25. And there's 1 minute. 1 minute has passed. Mark is sweating not to bid on this. Michael at 28. That's why I love the dealer badges that are specific. Leo at 30. Johnny Z at 30. Leo at 30 is who I had first. But having the bow ties as part of them, no doubt, just as good as a badge on a car. Or even more specific, more unique. And there's the 1 minute, 30-second mark. Johnny Z at 33. Johnny Z at 33 as we just passed the minute 30 mark. Leo at 35. Keep an eye on you over here, Michael, in case you want to get back in. Leo at 35. This one might get interesting. We got a few seconds left, but we got a lot of guys that like these things. Leo at 35. We're coming down to the wire. Michael at 35. Johnny Z at 36. Johnny Z at 36. And that does it. That got it. Johnny Z at 36. Michael at 36 as well. Just a couple seconds too late, but I had Johnny Z right at the end at 36. That one was fun, too. But it's cool stuff. It's different. It's unique. Get these all taped back together for Johnny Z. And we'll move forward to the last couple of things for tonight. One more Addy cap, one more license plates. We've done some similar to these in the past. I don't know if we've done this exact one, but I know we've done some similar to these. They're always a fan favorite, and it's been a while since we did one, but she found another one, so she went ahead and got it cleaned up and got it ready because it's been several months since we've had one of these, but they're always a fan favorite because everybody knows what they are, and everybody has fun with them. And anytime you hang them up on your wall or in your man cave, everybody knows what it is. It's our good old steel, chrome-plated steel cap for the lovable VW. Yeah, we've done some of these in the past. We've done a couple of them. Everybody always loves them. Check out the finish on this thing. Holy cow. You can see me seeing you, seeing me, seeing you. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate that. Great mix of badges. Leo at 10. Obviously, these do have a dome to them. They are dished. The VW is stamped in it. We can see on the back, just got some surface rust on the back, but we can see where the VW is stamped in. A little dingy up here, but I mean, hey, shoot, this thing's 40, 50 years old. But you just can't go wrong with one. 10.5 inches in diameter on the chrome VW cap. So kind of a cool piece. The bug threw that cap the first week. Yeah, it could have. Obviously, there's my hand, there's my auction notepad, there's everything. Let's check this out. How'd that happen? Look at that. Oh, wow. Check that out. You can read it plain as day. But Leo's starting us off at 10 on the VW cap. Let's get this thing boogieing on the timer. Here we go. On the V-dub. There's the Roadrunner jacket. Check out my Pontiac painting. What else can we see over there? Let's see. There's my Delco sign like we gave away a while back. Leo at 10, the only bid on this thing. There's one of my Ford signs. That's an original Ford porcelain. Portrait of Walter P. Chrysler. Randy at 12. Randy's a Volkswagen fan. Visible Indian pump plate. A beautiful porcelain Indian pump plate for a visible pump. Leo at 17. Leo at 17 as we hit the 1 minute mark. Not a lot of Volkswagen fans on tonight, apparently. Minute 30 has passed. Alex at 20. Leo at 21. A little bit of time left, but we're coming down to the wire on this one, about ready to wrap it up. Need 3 more for a set. Yep. Or it works for a hat. Randy at 22. Leo at 24. And that does it. Leo at 24. Bug bling. That's a good way to put it, Randy. Leo at 24. Let's do one more set of plates tonight, and then we're going to wrap this thing up tonight. And these plates are a little rougher, so they're not, super high dollar set of plates to kind of wind things down. But it's a very unique pair of plates. They are rough. They got a lot of service rust on them. They are Kansas 1956. But since they are rough, they need to go together. I'm going to sell them together, and they kind of need to stay together. This is kind of a cool pair. 1956 Kansas. They were white with black letters. This has a lot of surface rust on it, as you can tell. Travis at 20. Don't even care. It's worth it, Travis. Don't worry. You're fine at 20. So it's got this surface rust on it. MC, McPherson County, 961. Plate number 961 for McPherson, Kansas, or McPherson County, 1956. Now, the next plate that's going with this, these are selling as a pair. 1956 McPherson T961. So, yes, you're getting the car 961 and the truck 961 together. Like I said, they're a little rough. The surface rust, they're not rusted out, but they definitely have surface rust on them. You can see the backs of these. The edges are all intact and everything. But it is the set, or a pair. 961 and truck 961, 1956, McPherson County, Kansas. The match, or the pair of 961s. Travis at 20. We're going to roll with this thing. We are on the timer. We are live. Last piece for the night before we get on to the magazine and finish up the episode. Travis at 20. Hudson badge. I don't have anything else to dig out and get ready. This is the last piece for the night. Usually I'm sorting and stacking and making notes, but we're about wrapped up, so I don't know what to do for the next little over a minute. Other than see if anybody else is going to jump in on this one with Travis, or these are just going to go to Travis as well. Even though they got some surface rust, it's just odd having the 961 and the truck 961 together. As we hit the 1 minute mark, Travis at 20. Travis at 20. Oh, yeah, we got plenty more here if you guys want to keep going. Minute 30 has passed. Travis at 20. We're coming down to the wire. And that did it. That was easy enough for Travis. Good set of plates for $20. Bonus time. Dean wants bonus. Oh, yeah, we could do another 20 or 30 auctions pretty easily. That wouldn't be a problem. There's plenty of stuff piled in here to do them. Yeah, those are good plates, Travis. Even though they're rough, it's just cool having both 961s for the same year. So I had a lot of fun tonight. As always, the auction stuff was a blast. We still got a lot of great stuff piled up for the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. So let's get into a magazine that we didn't get into last week because we flat ran out of time. We had a lot of stuff to talk about. Thanks for all the compliments, guys. It's a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys being here and participating. It is fun. Like I said, I enjoy being able to pass some of this stuff on to your guys' collections, and and it helps support the time I put into this deal financially as well. So it works out great. I'm glad we have a lot of fun, and I'm glad that you guys get so excited about it and love all these pieces as well, because it is cool stuff. That's why we're here. It's cool stuff. We like it. We enjoy it, and that's what makes it fun. So I'm glad you guys. And even though Mark, even though you kind of knocked yourself out, it's worth it. A good one like that is worth it. So glad you guys had fun with it. Anyway, on the raffle, time to talk about the raffle real quick before we get into the magazine. Not a lot of guys got in, and then we're going to give away another bonus as well. There's only a few names in this week, and Mark already got one. Who else is in? Johnny Z is in, Kenny Peterson, Mark Falcon, and Zach Thompson. Hey, we ain't seen Zach on tonight. He must be tied up. So there's only 4 names in there, and we're going to do another bonus. So Mark's out. We're addicts, not in recovery. It's just a crack house for car guys. Okay. I'm good with that. Well, I'm glad you guys had a lot of fun. That's the whole purpose, is having a good time. That's all that matters. We're having fun, and we're enjoying ourselves, and that's what it's all about. Let's do a bonus drawing, and then let's get into the magazine. Zach's the next name out of the can. Let's see what we're going to put for Zach, even though he wasn't on tonight. Kenny did good with nothing. But the thing about it, that just means you're going to be ready for next week. Oh, slid the can a little too far out of the way. Let's see what we're going to send to Zach, or put in Zach's pile. Like I said, these bonus drawings, they go with your next batch, whether that's a raffle winning, whether that's an auction winning. This is the smaller, cheaper stuff. I can't afford to ship these things individually. So let's dig something out of here for Zach and see what we've got here. This one I think is a matchbook. It's pretty flat. Yes. Oh, this is weird. Castle lights and sterilizers. This is an early matchbook that actually has pictures on it from the Castle Light Company. So it's like an operating room type deal. The weird, I mean, that's an early picture. To have an actual picture on a matchbook, probably, I bet this is 40s with a picture on it. That was a pretty big deal then. So let's wrap this thing back up. Put Zach's name on it. And like we always say, these are bonuses. So that goes right back in for the main drawing. So be sure to get your chances in. Mobile pump plate, Beretta promo, or the original 1932 Kansas plate. Trade bonuses. So obviously this is a 60s era original porcelain mobile regular pump plate. Does have a little damage to it. It's scraped on the sides. But the important part, the red and blue lettering against the white background, looks great. So nice pump plate, original porcelain piece that is going to be a good piece for the raffle. So Travis is trying to buy them. So get that in mind. Get your chances in this week, guys. We're going to give those away. When do we decide? Like July 30th or something. Yeah, July 30th, I think is when we decide to give those away. So keep that in mind. It's a Beretta. Oh. 88 Beretta. 88 Beretta GT. We've auctioned a few of these. This is brand new with original box. So we went with kind of a mix this month. Sign, plate, promo. All stuff we love. Just kind of a little bit of an eclectic mix of what we all dig. So, and the first name out of the can is going to have their choice. The second name will have their choice. And then the third name will get the last piece. So Victoria, Texas, League of the Mobile Sign. Get into the raffle this month because the first part of August, I'm shipping all that stuff to the winners. So anyway, let's get this mini mag done tonight. We're going to do a mini mag just like the ones we just auctioned off. I had this set out for last week. We had so much stuff to talk about with Rocky Mountain Race Week that the whole schedule was kind of off last week when we got into it and just basically flat ran out of time. So we'll go ahead and get this one squeezed in tonight. And these mini mags are pretty cool. There's not a lot of ads in them, but there's a lot of meat in them. So they usually take a little bit to get through as far as all the cool articles. So we'll go ahead and check some of these out as we work through the July of 1961 issue of Custom Craft. So kind of some pretty unique customs there on the front of this one. And as always, these mini mags, that's all the color you're going to get. There is zero color inside these. The cover, that's it. That's all you get. But there's a lot of cool stuff in them, so let's check some of these out. Starting off with the top cover car, the big job on a little car. This top Roadster was a Henry J. So nope, it's not an amphibious car, Mark. It was a Henry J that somebody built a Roadster out of. Big job on a little car. The mill is a rebuilt and modified 6-cylinder Kaiser, which has the following modifications: high compression head, ported and polished block, hot ignition, and is now being topped off with a supercharger. Okay? Big job! The big job on a little car. Functional air scoop with 58 Pontiac side trim decorates a dechrome and an extended hood. Scoop was designed to house a late model Kaiser blower, which is now being installed on the car. So this is a hopped up 6-cylinder Kaiser that they're putting a supercharger on. Crazy things back in the day. Stuff you would never even think of today. And fortunately, since this is the cover car, we do have a color shot of it, so we do know what it actually did look like in color. Randy's got to jump off. Glad you're here tonight, Randy. And a few more pictures of the little Henry J. Shopcat's here. Now the next custom is really wild, and it is actually the other cover car. And this one I would not have gotten without reading it. But the lower cover car is the next one that we're going to look at. Carp's Copper Cobra. I don't know why they call it copper, because it kind of looks like it's white, but it's got copper hubcaps. And this thing was really wild. Believe it or not, that was actually a 54 Buick convertible is what they started with. Old School's here. And they customized everything. Mercury taillights. Check out this square plastic steering wheel. Oh, nice. Old School found a white rose sign for $20 in the estate sale. Holy cow. That's a smoking deal. Get a photo of behind the Chevy Beretta. Yeah. Yeah, Heather's been up there so long, Michael. I don't know what we'd do without her anymore. Travis has got to bail off. Glad you hung out with us tonight. So a really wild custom on that 54 Buick convertible. Nice. Buddy El Texaco Tanker. No problem, Travis. It wouldn't be a good show if you guys weren't here hanging out. A tech article, short course in rust repair, step-by-step with photos. All the way through refinishing. Good question, Jeff. The only thing I really had that was a full-blown custom, and I sold it a few years ago, was a 54 Mercury that somebody had made a custom pickup out of. They took a four-door and basically turned it into what would be considered a ute. 54 four-door Mercury, cut it off at the B-pillar, and literally custom made a pickup out of the rest of it. I did have build pictures on it. A guy that I know, actually the guy that where I got my big Oldsmobile Neon, it came from his collection. He actually built that car back in the 60s or 70s. I had a few build pictures on it. Nothing that I would have ever done anything with. I did sell it to a guy. He does have a Facebook page. And I can't remember, 1954 Mercury pickup build off or something. He bought it to build for some competition. I don't know whatever happened to it. That's been a few years back, and I have not heard anything about it since. But that's the only thing that was kind of along those lines that I've ever stumbled across. So. Pictures of the tug. I actually got a tug too. I actually got a tug at the same place, believe it or not. Airplane tug. A trio of deuces. Let's check out a collection of 32s. Starting off with the first page with these various shots of them and a Hudson badge. The first one, Classic Chariot. Let's take a look at this one. Anybody notice anything on this one? Obviously, we're packing a flathead mill, but we've got a Mercury dash in this one. This next one, also a flathead powered deuce. John's got to bail off. Glad you were here tonight, John. And the Blown Bomber. Flathead powered coupe. This next one's a pretty sharp car. Doc's Dreamboat. Simplicity and imagination are the two key words to describe this beautiful diamond blue 53 Ford convertible. Now you got to remember, this is 1961. This is a 53. This car is 8 years old. Obviously a full-blown custom. And some more detailed shots here. We can see the 56 Pontiac rear bumper, the way it wraps around. It really fits on the back of that car nicely, the way they got that Pontiac bumper wrapped around it. Basically a stock type dash, 56 Chrysler grill, I believe. Let's see if it says, but I think that... we'll see if I guessed right on the grill, if it'll tell me. Yep, 56 Chrysler grill. Big Job going to sign off. Well, glad you made it for most of the show, even though you had company, so. This next article, the pictures are tiny, which kind of shocks me. But it's weird that they've got more text than they've actually got on pictures. And really, I can't even find out where it says what the car is. Definitely got Packard taillights in it, but a pretty wild car. And not a lot of good pictures on it, which is kind of weird. This next car, going back to that same era, 52 to 54 Ford, this one is extremely wild. Old favorite with young ideas. So this 53 Ford convertible has a ton of custom touches. The grille is extremely wild. Been converted to quad headlights, 6 taillights, Continental kit, really wild 53 Ford convertible. Those quad headlights are a lot in a 53 Ford convertible, that's for sure. The Reluctant Wagon. 1928 Model A station wagon has had 5 different engines in 32 years. And this thing doesn't look all that wild. Kind of looks like kind of a normal Model A wagon, woody wagon. Till we look over here at this little corner shot where the hood popped up and see that Hemi stuffed in there. That kind of changes things in what you think of this little Ford wagon. Stove bolt, smooth and low. And this is another thing that's really kind of crazy to think about. We got to remember this is 1961. We've got to take ourselves back. We've got to put ourselves back in 1961. I wasn't born yet, so I can't do that. But that's kind of what we've got to do when we look at something like this. Because this magazine was printed in 1951. This next car we're going to look at was a fully customized 348 3-deuce 58 Impala convertible. Now, obviously, these cars today are blue chip collectibles. This was a 3-year-old Impala. We can see the 3 deuces sticking up through there on top of the 348. And an extremely radical custom on an almost new 58 Impala. 3 years old, yeah. New products. Let's check out some of the new products. Carburetor tool, plastic auto body filler, contains no filler, thermostats and cans. But what really jumped out at me when I saw this, when I was flipping through this magazine, twin weld epoxy adhesive, which we know commonly today as the amazing can fix anything in theory, or at least you think it can, when no matter what you've broken. JB Weld. Yes, twin weld. All-purpose epoxy twin weld. Helen in 61 was amazed his neighbors had a new 61 Ford with seat belts. Yep. That's when they were just starting to come about, just starting to come into play. Another, almost kind of crazy article. Dino's 3 months old with that mag went on the stands. It's filling diapers, not trim holes. Yeah. Restyling the 61 Pontiac. Literally drawings on how to customize your brand new 61 Pontiac. Let's check out some of the ideas. Starts off with a full shot of the full 61 Pontiac 400 hardtop. Shows custom grills, custom taillights. Now, obviously, this wide taillight would have been like for a Bonneville. A Catalina had a much narrower taillight, not near as wide. However, Bonneville had 3 lenses in the housing in 61. This shows it with one solid lens across that wider Bonneville housing. And they got even more radical. They showed top chops, full custom nose jobs. These are all just sketches, but this is throwing ideas out there if you were in the market to buy a brand new 61 Pontiac and take it home and customize it. Victoria, Texas drove a 61 Fairlane 500 in 68. when they got their license. So, yeah, a lot of this stuff brings back a lot of memories for you guys. I know it does. And that's what makes it cool, and that's what makes it fun. And here's another one, even a little more crazy than the 58 Impala convertible. A 59 Impala convertible that is still a super full-blown custom. This one only being 2 years old. And this next page even shows some more details on what they really did to this thing. I mean, look at the 59 Chevy taillight, how they literally had the whole outline still there to match the wing, but made a much smaller housing with 59 Cadillac taillights in it. There you get a little bit, another shot of them. The front end, not extremely wild. There's obviously a barred insert and things like that, but more new products from the Custom Mart. This is kind of interesting. We know it today. It's very common. We see it all the time. But at the time, this was a brand new product in 1961. Repair and Air. Repair, the letter N, Air. Allows the motorist to fix a flat without using a jack or engaging in any other strenuous activity. Manufactured by the National Dynamics Corporation of New York, Repair and Air is based on the aerosol bomb principle. A chemical combination of butyl rubber is squirted under pressure into the puncture to seal the opening, and at the same time, compressed air reinflates the tire. The motorist continues on to his destination within 1 moment. Repair and Air treated tires have tube and tubeless, have already been tested for over 150,000 miles of use. Yes, Fix-A-Flat. The original Fix-A-Flat. Repair and Air. 59 Impalas look great with 61 Mercury grills. I would have to look at that and see. You're right, Kenny. That's exactly where I was going with that. Early Fix-A-Flat. That's exactly what it was. So let's go ahead and catch the ads. There's not a lot of them. When we do these mini mags, we all know we've done enough of these, looked at enough cool cars in to know that there is not a ton of ads in them, which is probably why they never lasted very long. They were kind of a flash in the pan there for 5 or 6 years. But small magazine, not a lot of room for ads. Let's go ahead and catch what they did have in them for ads. And of course, on the inside center, our staple for this era, J.C. Whitney. What do they have on special for the J.C. Whitney ad of this year in 1961? Barely visible tread on the tires. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I didn't look at that, Mark. I'm curious, though, now. Oh, yeah, it does have tread on it. It's just hard to see. Just old bias ply tires, and it's hard to see it. But J.C. Whitney did have stainless steel tube custom grills on sale, blue dot taillights, fuzzy car muffs for your mirror, visor, or horn ring, fuzzy muffs, blue dot lights, custom grills, pinstriping, all the normal custom tricks we see in these J.C. Whitney ads. And basically, you got to flip to the back to get to the rest of the ads, which still isn't much. Just not much advertising in these things. It makes you wonder how they even lasted as long as they did. And of course, this actually was not Charles Atlas. This was the Jowett Institute. Obviously, a lot of people are familiar with the Charles Atlas Institute. This is the Jowett Institute, the all-male He-Man, as well as the Commercial Trades Institute inside the back cover. So obviously a lot of the Charles Atlas things going on back in that day, the muscle man, bodybuilding, workout type programs. We see those almost as often as we see J.C. Whitney catalog ads in these old car magazines. And then, of course, go to school to work on cars at the Commercial Trades Institute. I earn big pay and I work every day in automotive mechanics, which obviously that would be a perfect place to. I don't know if they have Venetian blinds or not. We ought to check that out, Michael. That's a good point. We'll go back and look, see if J.C. Whitney had any Venetian blinds in this issue. And then, of course, the back cover, like we see on a lot of these, the Motors Manual. Obviously, the Motors Repair Manual, I have them in the shelf right here beside me. There's some right over here. You can't see them just out of shot, but still literally to this day have Motors Manuals on the shelf to look up parts and things with. So, but I don't think they have Venetian blinds, Michael, but we're going to look and see just for the heck of it, because I'm curious now. Trunk light, piston gear shift knob, exhaust cutout, rubber bumper bullets, dashboard ditties decals, window anti-rattler, Hollywood wolf whistle, obviously the custom grills, fiberglass customizing kits, illuminated plaque hanger, mellow tone mufflers, Volkswagen car plaques, chrome door lock knobs, quad to dual carburetor adapters, windshield washer kits, water temperature gauge for the radiator cap like a motometer. Do I have any 51 Motors manuals? Not on this rack, I don't. I may have some, but I do not have any on this particular bookshelf. Suction cup antenna, midget rear speaker kit, Lucky Dice, door paint guards, the blue dot tail lights, the fuzzy car muffs, exhaust cutouts, pinstriping, auto fabric spray, Hollywood noisemaker muffler, handbook of engine swapping, pom-poms, newest customizing craze pom-poms, lowering kits, Ooga horns, plastic extra hands, okay, color dye for lamp bulbs, and a Lucky Dice gear shift knob. So no Michael, no Venetian blinds in the J.C. Whitney special for this month. However, you could get your full J.C. Whitney catalog, and maybe they would have been in there. But not on special this night. But it is free, and it saves you up to 50% if you order your own J.C. Whitney catalog. So that does it for the July 1961 issue of Custom Craft. One of these little mini mags that, were all the rage back in the day. Custom Craft, not one you hear much of. Rod and Custom is a pretty common one. Some of those other ones we sold tonight were pretty common. Custom Craft, kind of a different one, kind of an off-brand. That's right, Kenny. Order now and save. Good point. So not a magazine that stuck around very long and not one you see very often. But a neat one with some cool stuff in it tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it on tonight's Custom Craft mini magazine. So we'll find something different for next week. Maybe we'll move up a little bit. We haven't done anything from the 70s or anything lately. Maybe we'll see what we can find on some of that stuff. But glad you guys enjoyed it. Some good comments coming on it. And what else is coming up this week? Well, Hey, we'll do Toy Tuesday this week. We haven't done Toy Tuesday in what seems like forever. Scott says they fit real nice in your textbooks in school. That's what Big Job always says about them too. They fit real nice in your textbook, so nobody knew you were reading car magazines instead of studying. Mark in front of the auction. I'm glad you guys had fun tonight. But this week coming up, we will do Toy Tuesday, which it's been a while. I don't know what we're going to do yet. A lot of cool stuff there. I actually had a friend drop something off right over here, and it's kind of big, so I don't know how we're going to get it on Toy Tuesday. But it is super cool. Kevin's got a bell. Glad you're here tonight, Kevin. And it is. Let's look and see how old this is. It is a car piece. It is over 120. It's a picture, actually. It's over 120 years old. So it's pretty cool. So I've got that. I've got some toys. I've got a lot of signs we haven't gotten into yet. So I'll get some cool stuff lined up for Toy Tuesday, because last Tuesday was 4th of July, and we did the big live walk around. And then, of course, being Tuesday night or being 4th of July, I know a lot of people had family picnics and dinners, and then we had to run to my sister's to eat that night. So I knew everybody was going to be busy, so we skipped it. The week prior to that was Rocky Mountain Race Week. So it's been a while, actually. So yeah, it's been like 3 weeks since we've had a Toy Tuesday. So we'll definitely squeeze a Toy Tuesday in. I don't know what we'll do. We'll find some cool stuff to do. I've got a lot of stuff we haven't looked at yet that I've been picking up this spring, as well as then, of course, this week, I've got a lot of stuff in the can. All the videos we just mentioned about Pioneer Village, I don't even have them all uploaded yet, but I think there are 9 there. Yes, 9 videos from Pioneer Village. I've still got 5 or 6 videos from Auburn Court Duesenberg. So we got some killer stuff coming there. I've got a ton of stuff I haven't even shot yet. I did go out and shoot some videos today. Addie and I went and shot a couple today on some new inventory you guys haven't seen yet, because I'm getting so far behind. I bet I've got at least 10 or 15 videos to do on new inventory. So I got a couple of those shot today. And so we'll be getting some of that stuff up. I'll probably do some of those new inventory videos. Shot one more in the new yard today. Believe it or not, we're still not done going through the new yard just the way I found it. I'm down to one corner, but I've still got 4 or 5 videos to do in the new yard to share some of that stuff with you. That is exactly, as I found it, how I found it. So we'll be getting, I got one of those shot. We'll get some more of that stuff up. So we've got a lot of cool stuff going. I bet I've got close to 20 videos either uploaded or to upload, and a ton of new inventory to shoot. Plus, I need to talk to Jim Wicks about that super amazing Mustang he just found. We need to do some content on that. Plus, like I told you, stuff coming up with Big Al's Garage. Alan and I got to sit down and get to work on some of that. So we have a lot of stuff coming up, more than I even know. So I'm not even sure what all we got coming up or how it's going to go, but I'll give you an Auburn badge while we're thinking about it. But I will probably try to get some more of that new inventory up this week. The Auburn Court Duesenberg stuff and the Pioneer Village stuff, I can kind of slide that in here and there. But the new inventory stuff I'm getting so far behind on it. If I don't get some of that stuff up so you guys can see what's coming in, then I'm going to start. What'll happen is I'll start forgetting to do some of it. I keep notes on it, but and literally it's to the point now. I track it by quarter because I do my Craigslist ads quarterly. So then I know what new inventory to add the next Craigslist ad. Well, I did the new Craigslist ad for July, and I was working through those lists because I want everything to feed to YouTube first. So the stuff that I'm not going to get up on a video right away, I will push that back to the next quarter of Craigslist's ad. And I had a half dozen cars that I haven't even done anything on that. I don't think you called me on the Texaco stuff, did you, Matt? If you didn't call me, I didn't see anything. I had a call on him from Missouri. If you're from Missouri, was the only call I had on it. If you messaged me, texted me, emailed me, I didn't see it. That's why all my ads say you have to call me. If you don't call me, you're not going to get me. I'm admin on a dozen Facebook pages. My phone lights up all day with comments and notifications on all those pages I'm admins on. And then, of course, you got comments on YouTube. And then with Facebook, if you didn't call me, you're not going to get a response. That's why everything I post on Facebook, every single thing I post on Facebook says you have to call me or you will not receive a response, period. That's just the only way I can do it. So if I had one call from Missouri on him yesterday, was the last call that I had on him. So, that would be cool. Although a light up Buick sign would be a cool piece. So that's how far behind I'm getting on new inventory. So I'm probably going to try to get some of that new inventory up on this week and try to stay on top of that and then feed in some, Auburn Court, Duesenberg, and Pioneer Village as we go along here. So, one question that popped up earlier I completely forgot to get back to was somebody asked about the National Road Museum. I apologize. I don't even know who brought that up, but I said Pioneer Village and hit me again. The National Road Museum is they did not get all the funding they were hoping for this year, so that project is somewhat on hold. They did order everything from me that we had set up for the display, so I did ship them 4 or 5 boxes of artifacts, and I did do a bunch of the writing for that part of the display, the little excerpts that go in the displays that you read when you're studying something. I did write a bunch of that. So they did pay me for the writing on that, and they did buy the parts because we had the display centered around those pieces, but they did not get all the funding they were hoping for this year for 2023. So a lot of that project got pushed back to 2024. So that's what's happening with the National Road Museum is it's all basically kind of on hold at this point, but they did come through on everything that they told me they were going to do with me. So, but that's what's going to be going on. We'll get some more new inventory up. We'll get some of those other videos slid in, and we'll do Toy Tuesday. And then, what do you want? What? Did you come to say bye? Did you come to tell everybody bye-bye? What? All right, you can tell everybody bye, and then we're going to sign off. All right, tell everybody bye-bye. Say bye-bye. You do not look happy. Tell everybody bye. Say bye-bye. All right, you go jump down so we can wrap up. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate you guys watching the videos when we do post them. I know I'm not the best. Great Kitty wants a bonus drawing. But I do try to at least think about what I'm doing, try to do a decent job on the videos. I know I'm definitely not a professional, but I do try to put something decent out. That's why I work so hard trying to put these things together and having a decent show every Sunday night as well. So we will go ahead and wrap this one up. We'll call it a night. We'll see you live Tuesday evening for Toy Tuesday, and be sure to get in for the raffle. We'll have more bonus drawings next week, and here in a couple weeks, 3 people are going to get their pick out of those 3 prizes, and we're going to be getting those out in the first part of August. Everybody signing off. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all the support and the kind words. I got a F&E Collector Auto Auction meeting with Chris this week to get that thing ramped up. Mark October 7th off on your schedule, the first full weekend of October for the F&E Collector Auto Auction. We will have a lot to talk about coming up on that over the next several weeks as well. With that, I'm going to sign off. Thanks to all of you guys for jumping on, sticking with us, interacting, and making this what it is, which is a chat. You guys sharing your knowledge and supporting what we do here, both in comments, in activity, participation in the auctions, participating in the raffle is what makes this happen, as well as you guys who just like to hang out and enjoy it. I do see a counter up there, so I know how many people are on with us. And it means a lot to me that a lot of you guys do hang out. Even if you don't comment, you just want to hang out with us and learn and enjoy it. That's great as well. I appreciate all you guys that are here just even doing that. So thanks to you guys for making this what it is. I'm the one that sits here in front of the camera, and we have fun, but you guys are the ones that make this what it is. Hope to see a lot of you Tuesday night at 7 o'clock for Toy Tuesday, and we definitely hope to see you back here next Sunday night, same bat time, same bat station, 7 o'clock Central Time, the Nobody Show channel for Sunday Night Live Chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday.